Hey y'all, welcome back. I know I look scary and ridiculous and whatnot. So today I decided that I was going to do the how I wore my makeup in high school challenge. I'm not that big into challenges and things like that, like just because I like more old school YouTube where people are actually showing you how to do makeup. But Chrissy Harless, and I will link her over here somewhere in the description box down below. She did this video about a week and a half ago, and we're about the same age. So a lot of the stuff that she was doing and wearing were things that I wore myself, and I was like, I kind of want to do this because I wanted to do something fun. My channel is kind of on the serious side because like I'm teaching techniques and methods and like ways to products that go together and a little bit of science and things like that. And so I just kind of thought maybe I'll try doing this as a fun departure. Now normally the video, my next video should be a DIY video. Depending on how my day goes today, I might take this god-awful makeup off and redo it and actually make a DIY tutorial. But that will be coming next. I'm not going to start doing nothing but beauty videos because I know that I do have a lot of people that first started following me when I was just doing DIY videos. Since August. So anyway, I'm going to show you how I did my makeup in high school. I will be 32 this year, and I graduated high school in 2005. And I actually have reference. Some pictures to show y'all. I honestly only did about maybe 3 looks. I would do black eyeshadow on my eyes all the way up to the lid, and that was pretty much it, and then like a nude lipstick. I would do purple or blue eyeshadow in nude lips, or I would do the black with the red, which is what we're going to do today. And that was basically that was my prom makeup, that was my grad night makeup, that was graduation, that was usually for church, for baccalaureate, all that kind of, when I had a little bit more time to do my makeup, I basically did a variation of that look. And so this is what it looked like, and this is folded in half. This is me at senior prom. I am 17 in this picture, right? Yeah, 17 in this picture, and my date is on the other side, but we're not gonna get into that. And then this is me with my glossy lips, and I think my eyes are blue in this picture. This is me with my mom. Can you see? I am 15 in this picture. And isn't my mommy pretty? And I don't know why my eyebrows look so thin in this picture because my eyebrows were not thin. So I don't know, because I've mentioned before I didn't shape my brows much when I was younger. So yeah. All right, so I was into Gothic. I was not, this was not an everyday thing for me at all, but it had a moment in the mid-90s, and that was when my mom was really into it. And so she got me into it basically because when you think about Gothic makeup, like actual Gothic makeup, and not to be confused with just putting black all over your face, it was very similar to stage makeup. And I've mentioned this before, I danced since I was 7. I also did drama and I did chorus. So my first exposure to makeup was stage makeup. So being that it was so similar to Gothic makeup, it was kind of where I felt the most comfortable, and so that was kind of my thing. Now, like I said, I went out with blue eyeshadow and glossy lips and things like that, so this was not an everyday thing. And I did wear a lot of black, but not every day. I tried to find, I actually bought this a couple months after I graduated high school, and I tried to find something that I would have worn in high school. I probably would have worn something a little dressier than this little shirt, but whatever. These earrings actually are from high school. I've had them that long. This is very similar to how I would have worn my hair. I didn't have bangs back then, so I did pin my bangs back, and I tried very hard to make sure that my hair was not big and had a lot of volume, which is what I do like crazy now. So let's get started. So I wore Rimmel Stay Matte foundation, and I applied it with a flat teardrop shaped sponge that I would get from CVS. Now I don't have either of those, so I'm going to use my Real Technique sponge, and I'm just going to use it dry. And for foundation, all I have is my Wet n Wild Photo Focus. Now the thing is this foundation, I would have just smeared the Stay Matte all over my face, which was almost like a cream foundation. This stuff is it's a true liquid foundation. So I'm gonna cheat just a little bit because honestly like I said, I would have smeared it all over my face, but because this is such a liquid foundation, that sponge is going to just make it non-existent. So I am going to pounce a little bit on my face. I did not use primer. Primer was not really a thing back then. So I just did it like this. Y'all, I have never been so nervous or scared in my life to do a video. And plus, I've never done a video where I've started out with completely no makeup whatsoever, so this is interesting. And I would have just applied the whole thing, and I definitely would have gotten it on my eyes, because I've always had dark circles, so I would have been trying to, like, cover those up as much as possible. And I didn't, I did, once I was in high school, my skin improved a lot. I did break out, but not nearly as much. And what I would do is if I had one that, like, really showed up, I would take some Queen Helene mint and julep mask, it's green, and I would put a little tiny bit of it on a blemish, and then I would put my foundation and my concealer over, and then I was actually doing it to keep the foundation and concealer from sliding off of it. I didn't realize that I was actually color correcting. That wasn't something, you know, that wasn't on my radar when I was 16 or 17. Well, that's pretty. Okay, all right. Then I would use Rimmel's little stick concealer. I did not use it for highlighting whatsoever. I used it to cover up my dark circles, and I used it to cover up any blemishes that I had, and I would also put it on my eyelids. I don't have one of those, so I'm going to use my NYX Jumbo Stick. This is the highlight side, which I've mentioned before is a concealer for me. Now, I would have applied it straight from the tube, but you can see it's messed up. So I'm going to use my little brush here. And I would have just applied it like literally right where the dark circle is, and then I would have put a couple swipes on my eyelids like this. And then I would have just blended it with my finger, which would have essentially just wiped most of it off because of the heat and the oils from your fingers. That's what I would have done. And then, like I said, if I had a blemish, I would have covered it up. Then I would have set all of that with powder. I see, baby. And I used Rimmel's, I want to say it was Stay Matte. I used a lot of Rimmel, but that was back when Rimmel had just launched. Like, it only been around for a couple years, if I remember right, that is. I used Rimmel's Stay Matte, I think is what it was, and it was this big, huge pan, and it was pressed. I don't have any pressed powder, so I'm going to use my Coty Airspun. And I would use a big fluffy brush and just put it all over my face. But if I was out of powder, my mom used L'Oreal's Hydra Perfect, I think is the name of it, which is very similar. It's loose and it's very similar to Coty Airspun. So that's, I guess that's a little accurate. Okay. Okay, brows. All right, so I mentioned in my Brows 101 video that my eyebrows are naturally fairly thin. And when I was young, I've always filled them in because they are so light. And I did not shape them a lot when I was younger because they were naturally on the thin side, as you saw in my pictures. But they were a lot lower back then because I did kind of train mine to grow a little bit higher. And the only shaping that I did at all was taking those little brow razors, which actually worked fairly well. And I would just get these little hairs down here. And then I would draw them on. Well, not draw them on, but fill them in. So I used Love My Eyes. I know some of y'all remember that Berry Cosmetics line. I used Love My Eyes in medium brown, or I used this one right here, the Maybelline Brow Expert in medium brown. Hold on, I just got a message. Let me close that. Get it. The tripod's in the way. There it goes. Okay, and what I would do is draw them on there. And because my eyebrows are a lot more arched now, I'm going to try to make it go straight across, but I would have tried to make an arch back then. And I'd literally, yeah, that's good. I need a mirror. This, by the way, is from high school. I actually have some makeup left over from high school that I will show y'all. And I would have just filled my brow in like this. Oh. Okay. You can do it, Leah. Those of y'all that have watched my videos for any length of time know how I am about eyebrows. And you know that this is probably making me die inside a little. I made them a little bit thicker than they would have been. So now I look like Groucho Marx with red brows. That's amazing. And then to keep them from looking just a little too waxy and to help like tamp them down, I would take my brush part of my comb and I would go over them. This also did honestly, like, it would smear it a little bit. Mama, why did you let me do this? This would smear it a little bit. So like if I missed a patch, it honestly did help a little bit with that. Oh my gosh. Is that really what my eyebrows look like? Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's what they look like. Oh, okay, then I would have, this shadow is actually left over from high school. This is the L'Oreal Wear Infinite Eyeshadow Single in Lily. And I actually had brushes. My mom, when I was in 7th grade, I believe, bought me a brush set. And so I only had like 3 eyeshadow brushes, but I did actually have brushes to do my makeup with. And I would have taken this color or a more flesh toned color, and I would have put it on a big fluffy brush like this, and I would have applied it all the way all over my lid and then underneath my lid, underneath my eye. That's a Mary Kay thing. My first dance teacher sold Mary Kay. Okay, and then we're gonna do my most common look that I would have done to try to dress up if I was taking a little bit more time to do my makeup, and I would have applied black shadow, and it's the L'Oreal Wear Infinite Eyeshadow Single in Lush Raven, and it's just, this is a great shadow. It's just a plain old matte pretty black. There is a teeny bit of shimmer in it, and I would have taken a little brush like this, and I would have put this all over my lid. Sometimes I would put a color on my lid, like a little bit lighter color. I can't see that well. I would have put a little bit lighter color on my lid, and then I would have added a darker color to the outside, like right here, and I would have brought it up like kind of like a cat eye, because that's how my mom did her shadow. And I mean, that's, our moms are the people that teach us to do our makeup first, and I probably would not have tried to make that look that pretty. And I would have done 2 coats. Definitely 2 coats. And did I blend that edge there to make that look nicer, even though I had a brush? No. And let me do the other side. Now, sometimes I would wear like a sparkly blue or purple, and I actually have one of the purples I would wear, which is this. This is Mary-Kate and Ashley makeup, and it's like a powder shadow in a tube, and actually it is surprisingly really pigmented for, you know, very cheap makeup. And I would wear that a lot, or I would wear like a silver. Silver was a big thing back then. Think Britney Spears, Oops, I Did It Again. We would take silver eyeshadow all the way to the brow bone. Okay, that's the extent of my blending that I did. Then I would do my eyeliner, my waterline, and my tight line. And I don't have the pencil that I use, so I'm just going to use my L'Oreal Voluminous Smoldering Pencil. But I would have used the NYC Kohl pencil in black, or I would have used Bonnie Bell, the woman that, the company that makes lip smackers, made, what? Sorry. The company that makes lip smackers used to have a makeup line, and it was actually pretty decent makeup, and I would use that eyeliner pencil that she had in black. But they did not sell that at my Walmart, so I didn't use it that frequently because I would have to go to a different Walmart to get it. And I, of course, would light it. And I did not always do my top, but I mostly did. And I was not precise about it, I don't think. But, I mean, let's be honest, as the day went on, this would kind of all meld together and would look a little covered up more. This hurts. All right, then I would do my eyeliner, and I did wear liquid eyeliner, and this is what I wore. This is L'Oreal Liner Intense. And I would either use this or Newport News is a clothing company. And back then they were only by, people didn't shop online, so they were only, they were only by catalog. And they came out with a makeup line briefly. That's actually where this little compact is from. And they had a liquid, I got a little set for like Christmas, I think it was. And it came with a liquid eyeliner. And that was the first time that I actually started wearing liquid eyeliner not for stage makeup. And I would do a wing, but it was not like my wing now. It was more like a little swoop. So I'm gonna try to do that. And I'm not gonna talk for just a second, sorry. Oh, it's like muscle memory. Not really, let's start. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yep. Yep. Did I transfer? No, okay. And this stuff is, this liquid liner, I really should have just used one of my pen liners for sake of time, because this stuff transfers so bad because it has to dry. I used to stand in front of my fan while I was getting dressed in the mornings to help dry it. Hopefully it's okay. I'm going to go on to the other eye. But I always did this for stage makeup because you needed to help like open up your eye and lift it. Plus this would stay, a liquid liner was going to stay better than a pencil under those hot lights and everything. And then when I got that little set, I got curious and I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to wear that. Okay, that is exactly what my wings looked like in school. This one looks like weird, but that's what it looked like when I was in school. And back then, not everybody wore, very few people wore winged eyeliner like they do now. So there wasn't a lot of available products back then. And actually, back then, your only options for liquid liner were ones like this that had the brush tip, or ones that were packaged exactly like this, but had a felt tip. Now, I talked about this in my my eyeliner video, but they were awful. They gave you these little divots, kind of like looking on your eye, and it was just awful, and I hated them. We didn't have pen liners back then, and then when they came out, I was almost like shocked that I liked them so much, because their felt tip, and my experience with felt tip was those things. Okay, then I would put my mascara on. I did not curl my eyelashes, and I used either Rimmel's Extra Super Lash, I believe was the name of it, or L'Oreal Voluminous. Now, I don't have any L'Oreal Voluminous, but I do have Voluminous Lash Paradise. And what I would do, and I pretty much do this pretty similarly to how I did it when I was in high school. And I would close my eye and apply the mascara to the tops of my lashes first. And then I would open my eye and put it on this way. Oh, I just got some on my... That's what I get for looking. And then once I got like a decent looking coat there, I would brush the lashes out, or comb them rather. That's a comb. And then I would just put like another quick layer over it. And then I would go on to the other eye so that this could dry. And then I would do the bottom lash on. I don't know why I didn't think to just put the bottom on first. And I, by the way, I did not have any piercings in high school or tattoos. I did not get pierced until my 18th birthday. And then, because the way my ears are pierced, this right here, I had that. Because my mom wouldn't let me get any piercings anywhere else, and I really wanted them, so I just kept poking holes in my ears. My friend told me that my brains were going to start falling out in my class because I had so many holes in my ears. But when I turned 18, I got my belly button pierced. And then a couple weeks later after that, I got my eyebrow pierced. And then I got my nose pierced when I was probably 20, 21. And I did have a Marilyn Monroe. And I got that done when I was 20, 21. Give it here, sister. Sorry. I feel like this video is going to be boring. I don't know. I might not upload this. We'll see. If you're watching this, you know. All right, and then I would do my bottom lash line. And that, you know, that's pretty self-explanatory. And then I would have cleaned up underneath my eye. And yes, I would have lit the Q-tip. So for authenticity's sake. And I just would have cleaned up, you know, anywhere that I had a lot of mascara and a little bit of shadow. I do think I remember cleaning my inner corner a little bit, like where I would have gotten shadow there. I think I remember doing that. I just gotta, hold on. I can't look at it like this. That's a little bit better. And then as for, okay, that looks more like what I remember my eyebrows looking like. Then I did not, we didn't contour back then, and I did not bronze because, like I said, I had such an affinity for the Gothic style makeup. I was really trying to enhance the milkiness of my skin. Now, I did wear blush, but I didn't want to warm it up too much. And I did have friends that actually wore bronzer. I did, however, do the tiniest bit of contour for stage makeup, and that was where I would take CoverGirl Cheekers Iced Cappuccino Blush, and I would take like a little angled brush like this, and I would just put it right in the hollows of my cheeks. I did not realize that I was actually contouring. And I would also put a line right here along my jaw, but that was only for stage makeup. And then one day I got a little bit curious and I thought, well, I think I might start doing this every once in a while, like I said, when I was trying to look a little dressier. Now, I do not have that blush anymore, but I do have the Balm's Bahama Mama bronzer. This is a little bit warmer and a little bit darker, but if I use a very light hand, I think I can get it to look very similar to what it would have looked like back then. And this is the only place I would have put it. I was, honestly, being really into the Gothic look was very helpful for me because when I was in middle school, I did get made fun of a little bit because I was incredibly tall for my age. I reached 5'7" by like 7th or 8th grade. I had long, very curly hair, fair skin, freckles, you know, so that's a different look. And of course, you get made fun of when you look different. And so I always wanted my hair to be blonde. I wanted it to be straight. I wanted darker skin. I didn't want my freckles. I wanted this, that, and the other. So when I got a little bit older and I really got into Gothic stuff, that did embrace some of my natural features, and that was good for me. And that got me to, as I got older, to really accept myself. And I know that sounds kind of dumb, but when you're a vulnerable 16-year-old, things like that really do help you. Now, as for blush, I had a couple of blushes that I wore. I typically wore pink blushes where my mom would wear reds and browns. In fact, my mom had this red CoverGirl blush, and for some reason it smelled like pickles to me. Mama, do you remember that? You better be watching this. I would wear it for stage makeup though, but for my everyday blush, my favorite one was, it was called Dusty Rose, and it was literally that color. It was what it sounds like. It had a little bit of a gold shimmer, and it was by Merle Norman. I think it's Merle Norman. I don't know. And I wore that pretty much every day. Now, I don't have that blush anymore, but I do have this one by Seraphine Botanicals. This is called Happy Hibiscus. This is a little bit darker and a little less pink, but it'll work. And what we would do is I would put it on a blush brush, and then we would smile and place the brush right here and go straight out. I don't know why we did it that way. Oh, I got more. Dang it. Okay. And then what I have always done after I've applied blush is go like this. And I probably did that because I look crazy. I'm like putting this on my face and I'm looking back at these like, did I really look like that? And I thought I looked good. And other people thought I looked good because people asked me to do their makeup. A lot. Okay, now I did not highlight in the sense that we highlight today, where like you do, you know, your cheekbones, the bridge of your nose, and whatnot. What I actually did is I got a makeup set for Christmas one year, and it had two little highlighting shades in it, and they were basically a soft pink, and they were beautiful on my skin, because what they did is they did not actually show up on my skin, but they gave me a little bit of this like warm glow. Well, they both broke, and what I did is I mixed them up. I had a little container of Neutrogena Healthy Defense loose powder, and there was just a teeny bit of the powder left in there, and so what I did is I crushed up the powder even more, and then I mixed it in with the Healthy Defense powder. And then what I would do is I would take a fan brush just like this. This is actually from beauty school, by the way. I would take a fan brush that came in my little brush kit, and I would apply it all over my face. And I obviously do not have that anymore, but if I can get into it, I have this little Monica Dar highlighting and bronzing little thingy, and this is very similar to what it looked like. So I'm going to use a little bit lighter hand because it was mixed with a pressed powder, like I said, or a loose powder, so it wasn't quite as shimmery as it would have been. And this is really hard to get into this pan. But yeah, no, I actually was asked to do people's makeup a lot. There are actually pictures from my junior prom of me riding in the limo in my dress with all my makeup and my hair done and everything. And I wore my hair very similar to this for junior prom. And I am applying makeup to my friend in the limo on the way to prom. And I don't remember why. She was late for some reason, but actually, you know how when you go to prom and you all get together and you take pictures and whoever's yard? Well, all of our pictures with her in them, she was standing there without makeup on. Her hair was done and she had her dress and everything on, but no makeup. And I can't remember why she was late now. Whatever. Okay, now on to lips. Now, like I said, I wore red lips, I wore glossy pink lips, and I would wear like nude brown lips. Back then, Lip Smackers had this line of like tinted lip balms that I wore a lot. I had this really pretty berry pink one that I wore, and I had like, it was called Cafe LA was the name of it, and it was like a mocha kind of color. And then I wore red lips, and I had two of the CoverGirl Outlast lipsticks. I don't know if y'all remember those. They were basically liquid lipsticks before we wore liquid lipsticks, and they came with the pigment lipstick pretty much that was liquid, and then, imagine that, and then they came with a balm that was slightly glossy, and you would always run out of the balm way before you ran out of the lipstick, which was really annoying. And I had a burgundy color that had like a pink base, and then I had a berry red that I actually wore to junior prom. And then even though those did not come off and I could wear those all day, actually the lipstick that I wore the most was by Love My Lips, and it was called Rich Burgundy. And it was a burgundy, a dark, creamy, really pretty red. And what I would do is, because back then it was, which it's coming back now and I secretly kind of love it, but it was the thing to let your lip liner show a little bit. And I would line my lips with a red lip pencil. Now, I don't have a red pencil, believe it or not. I actually only have two neutral toned ones and a clear one. So we're going to use this eyebrow pencil. This will be close enough. I have a lip balm on. And what I would do is I would line my lips, and I would very heavily line my lips. And if I remember right, the lip pencil was by, that's stupid. I have this little thing. This little bump on my lip, and it's really hard to line over it. And I would use the Love My Lips lip pencil. And then what I would do is I would not blend this in. I would not fill my whole lip in. Damn it, I just did. Darn it, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to, I don't want to swear on my channel. I know that's kind of dumb, but I don't want to do it. And I would basically leave it just like this. And then I would apply the lipstick, and what would happen is as the lipstick wore off during the day, the brown would show. And this is by L'Oreal Color Riche. This is Raspberries, and this is very, very similar. And I would just apply it like this, you know, normal way. And then to help it stay on, I would blot it with a piece of tissue. I still do this when I wear regular lipstick and not liquid lipstick. And then I would apply another layer. And then I got a little smudge there. That always happens to me. And then I would, you stick your finger in and you get the lipstick from, well, there's not really much there, but you get the lipstick from the inner rim. That way you don't get it on your teeth. And that is how I wore my makeup in high school. Now, honestly, I wear a very refined version of this on an everyday basis, or not an everyday, excuse me, not an everyday basis, but I do wear something very similar to this quite frequently. But of course, it's much, it looks good. It doesn't look like a hot mess. I mean, like, look at that. Look at that. Why did people let me do this? And why did they think it looked good? I mean, from far off, especially if you don't look at the brows, I guess it's not that bad. But anyway, thank y'all so much for taking the time to watch this. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Yeah, I was thinking it might be kind of a neat thing, especially for me to do just an actual plain old tutorial and not like a 101 kind of thing, that if you would like to see like a glammed up, normal, glow, what do they call it, a glow up now, version of this, and I would love to do that. So go ahead and let me know if you would like to see that. Let me know what y'all used in high school. And I actually want to show y'all this real quick. I have lipstick and stuff left over from high school. And if y'all watched my doe eyes video the other day, this is what was on my lips. This way. This is Mary Kate and no, I'm sorry. This is Mary Kate and Ashley Glossy Sheers Liquid Shine Lip Tint. And I don't know what the color is. It doesn't seem to say. But this was like pretty much like a glossy lip stain is what this was. And it was so pretty, and I used to wear it all the time. I even still have CoverGirl's Shimmering Sands. Now, we all know we all wore this, and I wore it a lot. Now, I don't think this is the one left over from high school. I want to say I bought this one after high school, but yeah. All right, so thank y'all so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.